And good evening, everybody. It's 6 o'clock Central European time, and today we are playing Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. So, last time we actually defeated Emmett Selk and brought Night back to the First in its entirety. Now? Well, now we're in the Rising Stones. There's Tataru. And it's time for some shake and resolve. And we get a weapon coffer, item level 500. And we get to pick some stuff. Oysters on the half shell, jellied harkets, a lemonade, an oven cordon bleu, maybe. Tataru seems eager to make up for lost time. Knazy, gods, it's good to see you. I hope your being here means you've had your fill of rest. More than my fill. Well, you certainly earned it. Yeah. For context, I actually have it basically thought out that I let Knazy rest for an entire week. Well, you've certainly earned it. Not much has happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet that helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link pearl. I do hope he's alright. We've been exchanging messages with the Ocean Alliance throughout, though. They say the fighting has finally stopped at the Gimlet Dock, and that the Empire had shown no signs of movement. Which means we might actually have a moment to ourselves for a change. Seeing as you're back, maybe you could tell me more about your time in the First? Great! Oh, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Fiamin to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best she hears it from you. We'll meet you on the terrace at the House of Splendors. Bloody House of Splendors, eh? Yeah, well, let's talk to Flamin. Flamine. I keep forgetting Flamine. Oh, hello. How's that for good man? Had to do it. Had to do it to someone. Okay, we need to go up the stairs. Actually. There's Lamine. Flamine. Crazy. It's been too long. It's been too long. Tataru did mention that I would be joining you, did she not? Thank you. Words cannot well express how much I long to know more of the First. This world Minfilia has sacrificed so much to save. But come, rest your feet. Tataru should be arriving shortly. And so Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next oracle? This girl who Thancred named Reen? To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child. Only to embrace it when given the choice. Whoa! In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. Lizzie, might I ask a favor of you next you return to the First? To tell Reen what I cannot. To tell her, thank you. And I would offer thanks to you as well, for staying with her to the end. Begging your pardon, but could I have a word? Hey, Real. Real! I hope you're here to tell me you've received word from my helper. I wish. Nay, I had not but a peep. I've not had a peep out of him. And it's been a good long while now. Too bloody long. On account of which I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can't get a signal from him from closer up. What if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, it ain't as if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I should have no trouble picking my way through Gimlet now that the fighting's died down. Gods know there's enough shadows to hide in. And it be's waiting around here twiddling my thumbs. Any road, I just thought I'd let you know. Now I'd best be... Ah! Nearly forgot. Crowds at the stones and she wants a word. Something to do with the patients. She's getting ready to examine them again with what... Ready to examine them again when I left. We'd best head back then. I'm sure it's important. Lamine won't go back to... Any adventurer worth his salt knows how useful that is. Seems she's still examining them. Oh, I do hope it's nothing bad. It's a very talk-heavy mission, this. I'm gonna take off my shoes.
You're here. Good.
Ah. Hey there, Kryl. Kryl Baldessian in the flesh.
So, how are they?
One moment.
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health.
Good. Oh.
For the present, at least.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
How so?
I'm afraid there may be.
Uh-oh.
I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed.
Oh no.
Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them.
Uh-oh.
Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
Oh no. We need to get them back,
By the
and quick.
gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
What's the gulf in insta... Leave it to me.
Thank you.
But where's he even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct? Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked, but I for one am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer.
Yes, I know,
There is
right?
another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the First and apprise him and the others of the situation. We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
I'll see you again. Hopefully something can be done about this hair as well. Don't worry, Master Matoya and I will think of something. Take care over in the First, Knazy. Count on you and the Crystal Exarch to bring our friends home. Alright, turn over, Rant. It is Gold Saucer Day. And anyway, heading over to the First again. And it's nighttime. And raining. I bet I could do that. How long are you standing there in silence? Don't you know? Wait, aren't you that mortal bonded to Feol? Well now, isn't this a pleasant surprise? I have a proposal I was meaning to put to you. As it happens. Interesting? Interested? So these Sky Watchers see all over? They're good at what they do, but they can't tell you if it's raining or whatever back on the source, no? Well, but with my help, they could. I could cross the rift, see what the weather's like for myself, come back and share my knowledge with these mortals by whispering to them in their dreams. Could do the same for the Sky Watchers on the other side, too. Everyone could have all the answers, and they wouldn't even know how they got them. Wouldn't that be grand? This silence is all the approval I need. Off I go. Due to Lorfeo meddling with the dreams of Sky Watchers and the source in the First, Sky Watchers may now provide forecasts for every region regardless of their location. That's Jezzy from my free company. You have business with the Crystal Exarch? Yes, I do. I need to talk to him about something. Raha! Of course it wasn't. Come on, go on. Their corporeal ether shows signs of instability. By the gods! The possibility never even occurred to me. If you've returned in the hope that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you will be sorely disappointed. It is but a mercy with the likes of Mistress Crown must Matoya to keep our friends' bodies safe while we wrestle with the problem. But they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
I've been meaning to say something to Reen.
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed. I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryle's findings.
So basically, your bodies are starting to become instable. Starting to lose their stability.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yeah, no wonder.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryle is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration. Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the first. To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state. I would not soon throw my life away, not after the lengths you and yours went to save it. And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
That's only a last resort, Raha.
Oh,
Smack!
what was that for?
How can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless he says so.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
Hey.
What did you just...
Excuse me. You stole her?
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion?
You stole
Rather
her,
than
really?
dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success.
Me? Me?
I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of his body and soul, but his personal effects besides.
So the
This is
successful?
no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us his possessions, he could carry our souls back to the source upon his person?
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change.
It's probably not
But
that
the
simple,
very
though.
notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on his part, and we'd be left floating in the rift.
And I don't want to have to
The
rescue you
lady
again.
has the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet, were we to immure our souls within an object in his possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured. White auracite would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease.
In fact,
We
it...
would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us.
You do? You do?
On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves. It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after. Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrant is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Oh.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Fae Folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
I'll take the lemonade. A grand adventure? The Crystal Exarch would waste no time in seeking help for your stranded comrades. The Grand Cosmos, that is, the palace we seek, stands on the opposite shore of the source. I'll arrange for a boat to carry us there. Whilst our journey is thither, I think it best that I devote mine energies to the creation of white auracite. By their leave, of course. The process requires of no small amount of time, and should the Numo consent, we will lend us their aid. We will have need of a suitable vessel ere long. Agreed. Then I would ask the rest of you to meet me in Sullen. Oh, and do be prepared for a warm reception. That may look like the moon that my character knows, Minfina, but I don't think it is. Weed. Hey, look, it's a brick. Magician's brick. Wait, who is this? Oh, who's this Mistle? There's something down there, I know it. He said the palace is on the opposite shore, but I see nothing on the horizon save empty sky. Curious. Look, I know that Urianger cannot swim. That's what any true seeker of knowledge. And there's little we can say or do to convince them to help us if we know nothing of their character, nor less why they chose to hide themselves from the world. But if we can seize their interest, mayhap we can earn ourselves an audience. Weapons drawn it is, then. I must say, Exarch, you certainly seem to be enjoying all of this. Do I? Well, I will not deny that I enjoyed the thought of fighting alongside you rather than pacing about inside the Crystal Tower. You both seem to be in rather high spirits, if you ask me. Not that I'm surprised, your moods invariably improve when Kinesi is around. What exactly are you implying? The comedy. And I get to do Grand Cosmos. Greetings, Tyrus Sindri. Tyrus Sindri. Oh. Come on. Is this one climbable? Nope. I cannot stand on these poles, even though they are flat surfaces. Why? There's something down there. Typical cat behavior. Yes. A cat is a cat is a cat. be a better option. Hells if I know, I'm... Lol. It's a popular plot. Jesse just casually giving me 500k. Happens all the time with buy some gear. Sure, I'm not even supposed to be here. Actually, that's better. I'm level 515. Better. 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 Control I. Rip that one out, put that one in here. I need to really just... I should go ahead and clean this up. I should clean up my inventory. That's 461. I am gonna go ahead and grab the... see if there's a weapon that's better. High Durium Cleaver's worse. Moen's Merchant. Crypt Lurker. And... Ring of Aiming, Choker of Aiming, I need to go. Why do I still have that in there? I should really just go through my entire setup, just... Want me to queue us up? Grand Cosmos, go! Instant! The fuck? Lord Lodorito, surprised to see you around. Should you value your lives, you will quit this place at once. Now, be gone with you! Check your pockets, he may have stolen something. From ageless sleep I bid thee rise! Swish and flick, swish and flick. Over weapon. Thank you. Brave Knights have all tried and true. Oh, he is. No. Oh, fuck. Huh? That much all switcheroo. Do I have a dot on? Well, back to the starting. Oh, all right. The commitment to the bit as well. You good, my guy? Save for now. Nope, that's dead. F. So, Emmett, swish, swisheroo. What do you got? Nothing. Insufferable, the lot of you. All sparing, but only this once. Now leave me be. Still you press onward? How foolish. I will take it. I hate that I have to do this, but the troubadour. So beautiful, this place. The death's embrace, their souls consign. A frightening ode to damage dealt. Leonard's. I don't know how to pronounce this. Hey, hearken to my melody. Yep. Yoink. Not happening. The Lianan seeds wither and die. An ode to lost love. Run, shoot in the glory. Uh-oh. Lianan. Yeah, I shall bloom again. Let's see. I'll take that. I'll pass on that. I'll pass on that. I'll pass on that. And I'll pass on this and this. Summon thee from flesh and stone, gargoyle. Their bones. Paraporsies. Swish, swisheroo. Chamber. Knights immortal, heed my call. Sir Grim, Sir Jason. Robert. Sorry, my good sir, but you are getting your ass kicked again. Know your folly. Well, ain't this a surprise? Did my king's judgment seat and fall? How about they? Fall like land. So they will. The elves shall prevail! No, they won't. Loot? See, you cannot be dissuaded from your misguided path. A pity. Dance? Dance. Shall we dance? You've sullied these halls long enough. Come, Lugus. Our guests yet want for company. Those are ghosts. Lol. One thing to note. Do not bait or put out any fire mechanics on the furniture unless it's blue fire. Okay. Go, Lucas. Turn them to ash. I do not care. I care not how. Don't we get any active time maneuvers because Wanderer's Minuet. To me. Ow. I got him. And the boss is dead. Haha. GG. Feels weird to commend Lord Lorito, but here we are. Still looking for Nanamo. Probably back in order. Rumor has it she's off in some dungeon. Maybe in a silly sub... or something. There we go. Mission complete. Mission complete. Cutscene.
That was my fiercest familiar. Oh, impressive.
Well,
Backlook, 'tis good to see you again after all these years.
look, it's good to see.
And judging by your vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Dog.
Sake? Beg?
Dog!
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, we will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not
sit and hear our plea.
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence! It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men. You are sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I know that the Numo are a good and noble folk.
Good
It is not
doggy.
in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
Yes! Uh-oh. Bad choice of word, Alfredo!
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just No. I mustn't. Not again. That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety.
Oh? Court mage?
Oh, you know not what you ask of me. What horrors my knowledge has wrought.
Come here. We would never misuse it. The only goal really is to get these
You
good
wish only to save your friends? Nothing more?
Nothing more and nothing less.
Do you swear it?
Alona, strike me down if I'm lying.
No.
Oh, very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
And what would that fitting payment be, perchance?
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
We will prepare a fine accommodation. Off you know. And there you are. The others have gone ahead to Crystal Tower of Becklug. For the record, I truly wish we hadn't had to resort to using such words when treating with them. If you ever sought to convince, not I've ever sought to convince, not compel. Yet I cannot deny that part of me is glad Rianja shared his honor of the Numa with us. Had he not, Becklug wouldn't be here. Speaking of whom, we should hurry. To keep our guests waiting would only add insult to injury. A welcome guest. Alphino looks just about ready to leave you behind. We mustn't dally here any longer, Knazy. If Becklug wants to hear the truth of our travails in the first, you of all people should be present. To the Crystarium. Yes, I would like to enter the ocular. And that leads us right into a cutscene, which... Huh. During this animation, I cannot activate...
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing, but that you hail from another world as well?
Yes, yes, that's exactly it.
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time, and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you. Your body is your own. And your soul is the densest of them all.
Hmm?
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vorthri and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself. As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
Yeah, will you?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change.
Good.
I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
Good.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
And I will assist to whatever capacity I can. Beg look. You have spun quite the tale, but tell me, have you given any thought how you might return to your world? He's got an entire plan figured out, I guess. White aura sight, you say? An intriguing proposition. One which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence to having maintained tangible force for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there's no telling what may happen to their souls within the aura sight. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Then would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul's not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from their surroundings. This process must be halted and the resulting surfeit of ether removed. Your minds would ultimately separate from these foe bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home. Leaving lifeless husks like those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head. Corrupted by the Sin Eaters, their ether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted? Stagnant? May I see these unfortunate individuals? Why, do you think you might be able to help them? I might, or I might not, but I shan't know for sure until I have seen their condition firsthand. Then I would be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you won't do anything that might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. Well, I see no need for all of us to accompany you. While you escort our guests to the inn, I will assist Urianger in creating the requisite altar site. I trip over my own words again. I believe my talents would be better applied to that endeavor as well, but I leave the three of you to assist Becklug as necessary. Let us make for our meringue then. And we have ads in a minute. I will wait for a moment. Let me step outside. Whoa. It's crystalline wall left by the flood. It's dark. Should be physics-wise, I should be looking at the surface. I should be able to land on it, but I can't. Also, where are the ads? Oh, that one is not solid. That's not solid. Also, no. As well, there's ladle. Lines. Light is gone. I feel peaceful. Halrick's pretty far gone as well. There we go. Yeah, the electric's almost over, so just jump onto here. I wonder, can I... Nope, this doesn't count as a bed. And we're back from the ads. Look, there's Alfino. Having broken Light's stranglehold on the first, I would like to believe they will one day recover. Yet I fear that that day may not come soon. Becklow told me that they wish to meet the worst afflicted, Halric. There are times when I swear there's something he wants to tell me, if only he could form the words. So Halric, is it? Yes, his etheric balance leans perilously toward the light. Towards stasis. What do you suppose will happen to her? Not too bright, are you, boy? Same as all poor souls corrupted by light. You will become a sin eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Halric was completely unresponsive before, but now... Then perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate the ether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Verbet. Then, for far darker purposes. Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it, but for their sakes, I will break that oath. It's not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. Painkillers. Basically, painkillers. Todden. Soul tonic. Todden stares blankly at you. It would seem the tonic has had no effect. Oh no. What's this warmth I feel in my chest? Point? Come on. I feel warm. My legs, they don't feel as heavy. See if Halric has a different line now? Nope, still mumble. He still just mumbles. Now then, have you noted any change in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function in most patients, at least. Most severely afflicted show no response. As I feared, then. It is true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow. And yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time. But this holds true only for their corporeal ether. Their incorporeal ether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in later stages of corruption, like Halric, appear unaffected by your tonic. Precisely. The boy's soul's too far gone. His mind held together by the finest of threads. There's a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years. Decades, even. But gods! He could wake to find himself an old man! It's a fine reward for his persistence, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had the chance to live. Now, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize it's not why we petitioned your aid, but do you think it's possible we find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible that in treating them we might learn something of relevance toward your own predicament. King Sabed Menir. Menir. There we go. Quest complete! Good for the soul. Soul food. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past. That I was once a mage at the royal court of Verbert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administer to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. But in the end, my knowledge only brought suffering, a plague the like of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. And now you have a chance to redeem yourself. And I do. A comforting thought indeed. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Were the skies still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation on the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done. It's all the same to you. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. I admire your spirit. Very well. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and the finest of clays, as well as a Fey lantern brewing with pixie magic. You're convinced the resulting familiar could help with the patients. Fine. Now for now, the water and clay will be simple enough. I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean. The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Fine. Well, we'll pay a visit to Ilmeg. Hey, look! Their eyes are... No, their ears are a little their ears. Look at their ears. There. The fire shines... The light of the fire shines through them a little. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, and while you're at it, seek out the Pneumo of Pliny. They'll be able to supply you with water suitable for our needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Literally that. Time to go speak to Magnus. Crazy! Well, what a coincidence. Come at the right time. You've just this moment finished repairing the tunnels and trolley you lot took to Nabal for rain. Trolley was no trouble, but the towers would have been another matter if we'd not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Clever man, that Chinese. Seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the giant Talos to work. Well, like a giant trolley. But Magnus still refused to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Jarek, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. Something tells me Kinesi here didn't come all the way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? Clay. I see. This familiar requests clay from Amaranth. Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that it isn't exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Buren mines to make adobe bricks. The place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're willing to look, if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than look there. There's merchants here who might want to sell stuff. Yes, yes. Run, run! Material suppliers. A more culinarian. Xinjiang and... Let's talk to Shansan. Purchase items. There's the Gishal greens. I'm honestly glad to see that the heck. To the end of Journey's head, please. There's Alize. And Alfino. That had better be one. That had better be the only thing we need from the pixies. If I have to endure one more prank, so help me call it. The pixies were constantly confusing me with Alize. In jest, I assume. I mean, it's not as if we look that much alike. We don't look that much alike, do we? The twins have returned, and in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it? Here you go. Wonderful, we need but combine the clay and the water and heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. But look, I have a question. In the event that we had need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. How can the others have suffered so much? And I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there's a chance that this spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state combined with a strong desire to help them can drastically increase the magic's effect. You are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are few in all of Norvrand more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Knazy? Absolutely. She's the best woman for the job. I give it my all for Tesleen. And we are all of a mind on the matter. Alize shall be the one to conjure the familiar. Please let this one be spoken. Probably not, though.
Let us begin.
Okay, pleasantly surprised.
I trust you've prepared the clay.
Smack.
Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy.
A porksy, really?
Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
Oh, I know what that is.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean.
With care and attention.
There we are. How's that?
No.
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Alfino, you may are cruising for
Yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Cruising for a bruising there, buddy.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the porksy's image steady in your mind's eye.
Yep, I can see it. It's a flying pig.
Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay, I
I
bid
bid
thee
thee
rise.
rise.
On wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
It works!
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric. Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
What are you gonna do?
A name. All right, I've decided. Now.
It better not be Teslead.
Go, Angelo!
Wait.
Mother...
Oh, he's waking up. Oh, he's crying. Halric? But at 12, that was only for a moment. He spoke. He had me hope for these people. The girl's resolve is quite impressive. One might think she drew strength from another. How is he, Beglook? Did it work? I believe it did. You, your fledgling familiar, have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul. God, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. So close now, Halric. But as you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect. This to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport to the source via our side. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Beglook said when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body. That a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It's a fate of most temper to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases, or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. Gabu. Exactly! His condition is uncannily similar to Halrick's, is it not? The only difference is that his soul is suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gabu fellow of whom you speak? A Maud from Arwood. I see, his condition does sound similar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, but you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here. Work requiring patience. Of course, and as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angela and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crusaderium with Becklug and see if you can't make some headway with their newly positive Veras. I would tell you to rest first, but I see you're not to be convinced. Ah, the fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium then. Finally, we found you! Kai Shi! Kai Shi, what are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Yulmore. Lady Chai is beside herself, sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? Must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on then, it's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Beglug. I guess we go to Yulmore. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Yulmore is at stake. Oh no. Lady Chai's up in the parlor. Let's not keep her waiting, eh? I'll see you guys over there. I need to go to the source first to do something. Because it's Saturday. It's almost 8 o'clock my time. It's almost 7 o'clock server time, so... we need to do this. The mad bird ring. I swear, if I can manage to get the jackpot on at least one of them. look at them. Oh, I see how this one works. Anyway, I'm gonna run ads real quick. So, see you all at the appointed time. I'm grabbing a drink. And I'm putting it on BRB for YouTube. And we're back. I have pulled up an Excel spreadsheet for this. Now, without further ado, let us set the wheels in motion. And... Free. 0. Damn it! That's a Z. That's none. That's consolation on all 3. Let me type out the numbers. 076. Oh, it looks like the jackpot actually did fall. Nope, nobody hit jackpot, so. Nobody hit the jackpot, so. Oh well. I guess now we have to go back to Calusia. To Yulmore, to be specific. What up, Darren? Moen. Let's see what Kai Shir has to say. It was the folks over at the Crusader that told me you'd be down Journey's Head. And lucky for me, you still were, running around to people's tiring work. Well, not seeing here seems to be out of the ordinary. But I do not see Lady Chai anywhere. Let's run the Sue. Yes, Julia Chai.
Oh, thank heavens you're here.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
But that is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
What? What happened?
It all began after the events at Mount Gulg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see.
Oh.
After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No one wanted such responsibility.
I had a drink.
Nevertheless, Yulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Oh.
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice.
Really?
Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced. But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
Oh, my phone is...
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee? Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
You truly think so? What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
I am so tempted to be the absolute dick. There's this option, but... But nah, I'm gonna be the better man here. I don't know. But whatever it is... I don't know, but whatever it is, he wouldn't have fled.
And there you have it, Lady Chai. You needn't worry. Master Chai loves you more than all the world, and he will return.
I am gonna check. I am gonna check. I'm gonna just click through here because it's just gonna... It just went ahead and do the thing. A welcome guest, good for the soul, nowhere to turn. There's actually a different line here. You say, sorry, but I think he's fled. Nay, my friend, the one thing he has not done is flee. Of that I am convinced. For the most testing of times, he has ever remained at Lady Chai's side, placing her happiness before his own. He would not abandon her now.
Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
So you can be a dick. But Alphina will correct you.
Thank you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
Ba ba da ba ba da. Bum bum ba 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 da bum. Let's do what about the salad? A notable absence. Notable absence. For all his comforting words, Alphino is plainly troubled by Master Chai's sudden disappearance. There's no sense for Master Chai to have left without a word. Even if he had, he would not have done so unobserved. Someone here will have seen something, I am sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to whether anyone saw him leave, or failing that, if they have any idea where he might have gone. I will meet you at the Glory Gate to compare notes later on. Miss Moen. Master Chai? Well, yes, I spoke with him recently, though I recall he was in a rather dour mood, concerned about Yulmore's neglect of industry, you see? With Lord Volfrey's apparently inexhaustible stores of meal and no great need for money, it's little wonder our businesses were all but forgotten under his rule. But I assured Master Chai that the Boutique of Splendors will do all it can to contribute to the revival of trade here in Yulmore. It seemed to satisfy him. He took his leave soon after. Your exchange with Moen has taught you about the stagnant state of business in Yulmore. Wait, does that actually? Yes. A hastily written note which reads, Boutique of Splendors, willing to work with Master Chai to rebuild businesses. Wait a moment, that's the fucking House of Splendors. That's House of Splendors. Meaning Moen is Rowena's. Meaning Moen is the shot of Rowena. Conan, looking for Master Chai, are you? Is something amiss? When last I saw him, he seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted he rest and catch his breath, and we talked for a while, about his concerns over the city's defenses, amongst other things. He made more than a few valid points. Many of our men are still recovering after your confrontation with Lord Volfrey. And finding General Ranjit in a heap in the middle of the plaza shook us all to the core. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty, and some of our longest-serving soldiers seemed lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not only blame you, of course. Without you and yours, we'd still be blind to the error of our ways. Anyway, funding permitting, I propose replenishing our ranks of volunteers from the derelicts in Gate Town. We have a duty to protect not only Yulmore, you see, but the surrounding regions of Calusia as well. And I, for one, would welcome any man or woman willing to take up arms for that cause. Indeed, I told them as much, and he seemed relieved to hear it. It was on that note that we parted ways. As I recall. Yulmore's army willing to hire recruits from the derelicts in Gate Town. This burning lock's harder than I thought! This guy is just dangling now. I'll leave him hanging. Nothing but... I recall a man fitting that description. Asked to speak with the poor bug has lately come from right. Said he wanted to know the state of things down in the derelicts. I could be sure we gave him an earful, like a food, medicine, clothing, and there was plenty to tell. We hunt high and low for whatever we can scavenge, and it's barely enough to fill our bellies. But folk here don't just want to survive, they want to thrive. When he heard that, he started mumbling to himself, something about finding us work, I think. Fair play to him. Not content with having his ear chewed about the derelicts, he asked about the other settlements and all. After that, I can't really say. Looked like he was headed for Gate Town when I last saw him. Calusians seeking work. China's offering employment. Kai-Shir. Hey, that's family that's I think Kai-Shir's family. At least I don't know exactly how it works with misspelled names. Ah, there you are. How did you fare? Let me check. Secret of the Sun. Yep. How do you fare? Have you learned anything which might offer a clue as to Master Chai's whereabouts? Utica Splendor's willing to work with Master Chai to rebuild businesses. I've made some notes. For the people. Still no. To right. There he is. No, the name doesn't ring any bell, but there was a rather dapper-looking Mistel gentleman here not long ago. He wanted to talk about relations between Wright and Yulmore, or rather the lack of them. We lost a great many people to their promises of meal and a chance of a lavish life among the free. And Valfrey fought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. I needn't tell you what happened when the Sin Eaters came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Valfrey's gone now, and we're curious to see what will become of Yulmore in his absence. That's what I told your friend, China's, was it? And I'm sure the others said the same. Not what I wanted to hear, I suppose, because he left soon after, and that was that. What? Turns out Master Chime was over in Gate Town too. He spoke to a few of the residents apparently. Told me they'd never seen a posh bloke look so miserable. So he paid a visit to both Wright and Gate Town as well, did he? I see. Kai Sher and I gleaned much the same. He seems determined to salvage what goodwill might yet remain among the settlements of Calusia. The only place he has left to go being Amity. Come, if we are quick, we may yet catch up to him. Cross the street. Cross the street. There you are, Chinese. I was already wondering where you went. Chinese. Crazy. Alphino, Kai Shi. What are you doing here? We might ask you the same, Master Chai. We've been looking all over for you. Good for me. Whatever for? Lady Chai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word, and bade us return you to her side. What in the blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers. Though I suppose she could have overlooked it. When she gets an idea into her head. I can only apologize. No harm done, Master Chai, but since we are here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? We were told you'd been elected mayor, and from what we've gathered from nearby villages, you've been inquiring about people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office? Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Calusia. That much is true. But I am by no means sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges would require resources. Until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. I see, and you believe such resources can be found here. Indeed, the people's grievances are many. In the course of my inquiries, I already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans. A man whose counsel might yet make a mayor of me. With respect, such thought is, in itself, proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai. And I'm certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. For what the Lord is worth, we will vouch for you should he require convincing. Whatever you need, you can count on us. I don't know what to say. You You don't need to say anything. You got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to make it into Yulmore. But that dream's gone now. It burst like a bubble. Or a boil, more like. Anyway, outside of repaying Master Alphino, I haven't had a clue what to do with myself. Spend most days in a daze, but you? You've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up Mount Gulg, didn't you? How hard could mayoring be? You're going to steer Yulmore into a better future, I know it. And I want to help. Properly help. Do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work it out in the way. If you let me come with you, that is. You give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you. But I can't deny it gives me heart. Come then, let us press on together. Thank you, Master Chai. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Yulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I am here. To find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly, and are you certain he's here in Amity? Brendan is his name, and yes, he is. Or was. I scarcely began to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Vorfrey's father when he was in office. If Ranjit was the mayor's right hand, one might say Rendon was the left, and between them they kept Yulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. And even if you do, what makes you think he will listen? Before giving chase, it might have not best wise to speak to those who know him. Here in Amity, you may be able to shed some light on his reasons for rejecting your overtures out of hand. Wow, Ollie! I should honestly add a timer to see how many streams it's been that thing hasn't been redeemed. Ah, you just woke up. Right on time, too. Perhaps we should start with Tristal, then. As I recall, you made rather a favorable impression on him. I'm certain he would be willing to talk to us. Yeah. But I was planning on wrapping up in about 15 minutes. Greetings, friend. And to you too, Master Chai. I presume you were here to ask after Rendon. Couldn't help overhearing your earlier exchange. Yep. I will quite understand if you choose not to help. Worry not, Master Chai. I bear no grudge against you or the people of Yulmore, and I would not see you suffer for Volfrey's villainy. As you no doubt gathered from your meeting earlier, Rendon can be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, and little patience for anyone he deems less committed to their own. Your desire to right the wrongs of your past, of Yulmore's past, is quite admirable, but I fear the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. I can see it in your eyes, in the way you carry yourself. It goes without saying he sees it as well. You must let those feelings go, Master Chai. Be more assertive, commit to this course, and prove to him Yulmore has the resolve to change. The resolve to change? I believe he was headed towards Pit 8 when he left. If you plan to go and speak with him, I suggest you be firm and clear in your intentions. Very well, to Pit 8 we shall go, and I will not take no for an answer. Nay, not even a maybe. Despite our previous artistic differences, I do believe Master Chai means what he says. But until he starts believing it, I fear it won't amount to an awful lot. spoken? Probably not.
Well, well, it's you again.
Ah, never mind, it is spoken.
Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
No, I didn't invite them, as it happens, though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Yulmoran's. They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Vorthry's villainy, the famous warriors of darkness.
Are they now?
Hi there, Renton.
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Vorthry. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. And I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
Your sentiments are admirable. Yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make. In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Yulmore. Gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all. But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Vorthry was creating. And so I left my homeland behind. But you, Chai News, you were content to wallow in indolence under Vorthry's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
He has a point.
I can offer no simple answer to that question. But this much I will say. It is my hope that Yulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together. A great many people, myself included, flocked to Yulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. It seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. In ignorance. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us. The distinction between free and bonded died with Vorthry. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur. My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation.
Well,
please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Yulmore for the people.
at least he admits it. He hasn't the skills to run a nation. Of the people, by people, and for.
A Yulmore for the people. I rather like the sound of that. But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Yulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.
Establishing trade. Probably. Right then, is there a particular issue you would have me resolve? You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems Yulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of the dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Ah, yes, meal being neither a desirable nor a less sustainable option. I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. And a man who hungers is not like to contribute much to society, save violence, perhaps. So tell me, how will you propose to solve this problem? Give me a satisfactory answer, and I will consider offering you my counsel. He's deep in thought. A combination of measures would seem to be in order. One to address the immediate issue of supply, and another that of production. Go on. For the present, Yulmore's coffers can be used to purchase food from our neighbors. This would afford us time to address the underlying problem that affects us all, the long-standing neglect of agriculture. The villages that once served as sources of trade for foodstuffs must be repopulated, their means of production restored. This assumes, of course, that we can rekindle relations with our neighbors, guarantee security and stability in the region, and most importantly, find people willing to leave the city and take up the rebuilding effort. My. Think of that all by yourself, did you? Ah, yes, it began as a rather abstract plan I drafted some time ago, after speaking with the peoples of Yulmore and nearby settlements. You've impressed me, Chinese. I have? Well, that is a relief. Oh, you haven't secured my support just yet, only my attention. Grand plans will not be enough to persuade the masses. If you would ask them to rebuild, you must provide them the means to do so. Fair point, Rendon. One to which I have given much thought. I propose the use of Talos to aid the establishment and maintenance of these settlements. Their employment should drastically improve efficiency and ultimately increase production. Talos. But Daedalus Stoneworks closed their doors years ago. Without a steady supply of the necessary equipment, people would starve before your plans could be put into effect. Well, as the heir to Daedalus Stoneworks, it just so happens that Talos are my field of expertise. And with a little help, I'm quite certain we can acquire what we need in no time at all. I'll take an exquisite beef stew. And that I'm gonna check finding good help is our next quest. And with that, I think it's about time that I call it. Let's find who we can raid. have an idea about who to raid into, but I don't know if they're alive just yet. Nope. Let's see. MCC.live. Shovel, H-bomb, Curryway. Yeah, I have an idea. Let's raid out the gem. I'm gonna click into following. Actually, first I'm gonna check in the other Final Fantasy XIV players here. Those are way too far ahead. In that case, let's say hello to Gemini Tay. Who is... Oh, never mind. I cannot raid into them. Of course. In that case, let me just have a look. Let's try raiding out to H-bomb. Nope. I'm just gonna end it. Good night.